We're back with From Piece to Piece, the Piece by Piece podcast. I'm your host, Nayobé Reemnet, your Miss Voluptuous Suriname, and also the founder of Piece by Piece, a platform created to help young individuals explore their identity and use their voice to make a real difference in today's society. Each episode, we speak to inspiring individuals who are turning their personal puzzle pieces, meaning their stories, their values, and their experiences, into action. Whether you're just getting started or looking to grow your advocacy, you're in the right place right here. Today, I'm joined by someone who's stepping boldly into pageantry while showing that life experience, motherhood, and entrepreneurship are no limits at all. They are strengths. My guest for today is Brittany, the newly crowned Miss Voluptuous USA South, She's a proud mother, a thriving business owner, and she's competing for the first time in pageantry. And right away, she's starting with an international stage, which is such a big step. So I'm super proud of her. I'm going to call her in and see if she's ready to join. Hello, Queen. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Amazing. Then we'll dive right into the first section. Could you introduce yourself to our guests?
Hi, I'm Brittany Gill. I'm your Miss Voluptuous USA South.
Amazing. And if you would have to explain your identity in 3 words, what would this be?
So, first of all, I am a business owner, a mother, and a thriving person who has to accomplish so much. So, I'm both on resilience and yeah.
Amazing. I love that so much. Okay, and then we're gonna dive in a bit deeper. How do you think people usually see you as a mom, a business owner, or anything else, maybe pageant related?
I am a business owner. I feel like people look at me as, okay, like what's next? Because I'm always looking for the next best thing, whether it's to figure out a way to make money, figure out what my kids can get into, figure out what we're doing for the weekend. I'm always looking to get into things. So especially I love coming up with business ideas and trying to get more creative with that.
I love that so much. And what in all of that gave you the courage to enter pageantry for the first time? Because that must be such a big step.
Oh my goodness. I had no desire to do a pageant. I never once thought about actually doing one. I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and she does plus size, or she's a plus size woman who does boudoir photography.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, funny story, when I was younger, I always dreamed of becoming a plus size model. And
Oh,
she's like, well, why don't you run for Miss Voluptuous? And I'm like, what is that? So she connected me, and she actually said that Melanie won, and she was a couple of towns over from me in
oh,
Ocean
wow.
Springs. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's real, because I mean, she was right here and she won.
Yes.
So I did my research. I went home. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be in a pageant. What am I doing?" And then when I realized how big of it gives you the stage to be an advocate for so many things that you believe in. And I
Mm-hmm.
always knew that I was meant to be a voice. I just didn't know how I was supposed to reach people. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my goodness, like I need to I need to, like, this is my way to reach the women that I've always been meant to reach.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love that story so much. It also resonates with me because I started pageantry as a joke. Funny enough, I've told this story so often on my live streams, but I'm gonna tell it again. Like I started because one of my friends signed me up as a joke. Then I went to a casting day, and before I knew it, I was hooked in. I loved it so much, and I love that I could combine the glamorous side of the world to the meaningful side of everything. So I fully understand what you're saying about being able to reach women, getting a platform, and all of that. It's so beautiful when you finally are in it and you get those chances. So thank you so much for sharing that. That's
Yes, of
amazing.
course.
And Then the next question is a bit more directed to the piece by piece workbook that you filled in. I was very touched about your mirror page that you filled in because you spoke about the little girl you used to be, and it made me very curious to hear a bit more about that. So, could you tell us how your past struggles and your past feelings about yourself have shaped you into the strong woman you are today?
I remember, part of my advocacy is for mental health awareness, and it's all personal to me because I struggle with mental health, and I have been working on myself for the past few years. Well, in this journey, I realized how far it stemmed. It stemmed from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I realized I learned what depression was at 7 years old. Like I didn't know that what that was, but I felt it then.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of something you just don't outgrow. Like, yes, you become a different person, you become the person you want to be. Either you learn from it and you make the changes in life. From a little girl, I just felt so lost and so trapped. And my world became sad at a young age. And I realized like I had to change things, right? In order to change things, like I had to be the one to change it and make a path for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So everything I'm doing is making the little girl proud. Like I always felt like I wasn't worthy enough, or I would never have the nice things, or I would never be the somebody or the business owner or whatever. So I really felt like I owed it to myself to make sure I could give that little girl everything she's ever wanted, and to be able to give my little girls, part of the life that I never had.
Yeah, of course. And if I look like as an outsider looking in, it looks like you are doing a great job at all of that. How does it feel to
Yeah.
be able to show that little girl that yes, you can do all of that?
I mean, it's great, and it's actually something like I said, it's a current thing. This year, I worked in therapy with my therapist, and it's an amazing feeling. I remember driving to this women's gala they had out here for 100 successful women know. And while I was driving there, I was so intimidated because I didn't know anyone that was going to be there. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my gosh, these are business owners. These are women that have accomplished things. These are women that are this place and this place. And I'm like, and what am I doing on here? And I'm like, wait, like you've made it. Like you are a business owner. You are successful. You are doing the
Yeah.
things like I belong there. And like in the moment, like I was doing a video. There's a blog, like I did a video of me talking about it. And in that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, you made it. Like you're not that little girl that's struggling. Like you made it out.
You did indeed. And I love
Mhm.
that you are saying this as well, because I feel like so many of us women keep doubting ourselves, even though we have accomplished so many things. And even though we have made it so far, it's hard to sometimes actually look into your actual mirror and see all of that and realize that, yes, you deserve to have all the things that are coming to you. So thank you for sharing that. It makes it a lot easier to see an inspiring woman say the same thing you have been feeling.
Right.
Okay,
To
we're
feel like
gonna
you're
move
not
on.
alone is so important.
No, exactly. I fully agree. We're gonna move on to the second part of the interview. Okay, so I am very curious. What issue is closest to your heart? So this is partly about your advocacy.
Okay, so mental health awareness, like I stated already, is very important, and bringing that attention that people do struggle and have their moments. And being a voice for survivors of domestic violence is
Mm-hmm.
really big to me because I've personally am a survivor of domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I didn't realize that I was considered a survivor until a few years back. And I was like, wait, I'm not me. I was never a victim. And then I was like, wait, but you were. So, but in that moment, and then that it all ties into the mental health awareness. Like I was so depressed and I just wanted that attention from a guy, that I allowed myself to not love myself enough
Mm-hmm.
to be, and I stayed in a domestic violence situation because I just wanted to be loved. So after the hitting and the abuse, I would get loved bombed, and the little girl healing inside wanted that male attention, so I stayed. And I want to be a voice for women to learn to love themselves enough to leave and they to let them know that they deserve so much more.
I love that so much. And I feel like it indeed is such an important cause. Um, I myself have known women and am also a woman who has struggled with people hurting them in a way that makes us insecure and makes us feel like we're less than. So it's beautiful that you want to raise your voice for that. Could you tell us how you plan on doing that as Miss Voluptuous USA South?
Well, actually, I am currently working on a project right now. I'm kind of having like some rough drafts with it, but it's the Healer Project is what I'm gonna go with, and Healer spelled Heal, capital Her, so Healer project, and I plan to I'm joining up with Advocates for Freedom, which is a human trafficking organization here on the Gulf Coast. I'm teaming up with Gulf Coast Center for Nonviolence, and I want to be able to create safe space for women because I'm also an esthetician, so I do skincare, and I want to bring that and have classes to teach women to learn skincare, how to take care of themselves, and how to apply makeup, all while speaking affirmations into them and life into them and helping them learn to self-care. Because I feel like when you feel good, when you look good on the outside, you tend to feel good on the inside. And if you have that confidence, then I feel like you'll be strong enough to take over the world.
That's so beautiful, and I love that so much. Also, the fact that you already have so many organizations lined up that are ready to work with you and that want to work with you, that only shows how strong your story is and how strong you are as a queen. So, oh my God, I'm so excited to meet you as well in England because that's amazing. I love that so much.
I'm excited to meet you
um,
too.
Thank you so much. Okay, let me see. I am very curious um, how your children view all of this because it must be so cool to have such a cool mom.
Yeah, it's funny. So I have my 3-year-old, the first time I opened the box and I had the crown, I opened it to the crown. She's like, "You're a queen, Mama, you're a queen." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Like in that moment, I'm like, this is so like it was so worth it. And then my 13-year-old came with me to a news interview. And she was sitting there on her phone with her friends, right? And I didn't really realize what was happening. And she's like, "Mom, I was showing my friends, I was video chatting with them and showing them how you're the queen and, just
Aw.
bragging," which is like big for a 13-year-old to do,
Of
right?
course. Like
So
your
that
mom
was
is
a
on
very
the news.
special
Hello.
moment. I'm raising some very strong-willed children, and I have to raise these women strong to take over the world so they don't put up with any of the bull that will get thrown at them along the way.
Yeah, of course. I feel like you're doing a great job at all of that,
Thank
honestly.
you.
Like, of course. We're gonna move on to the next section already. Okay, so this one is Voices in Action, and it's all about your impact on the world. We already dove into it a little bit, but I'm very curious how you have experienced wearing a crown and the impact you can make with a crown compared to the impact you can't, like when you're not in pageantry.
Okay, so as I was stating from the beginning, I had no want to be in a pageant, and the advocacy part was just so strong for me. So it I'm sorry, hold on, I'm getting
You're
I was
fine.
doing so good and I'm getting nervous at the end.
You're still doing
Um,
great.
okay, ask me the question one more time.
Of course. So I am curious what the difference is between making impact with a crown, so in pageantry, and making impact when you're not a title holder.
Okay, so before this pageant came along, I was already planning to work with Advocates for Freedom to help with the survivors of human trafficking.
Hmm.
So I just feel like the crown, becoming part of the pageant and accepting this crown has opened myself up to putting myself in places that I typically would not show up in.
Hmm.
Before I wasn't as confident to show up in a place and try to be a part of things and interact with people, but the confidence I've gained to be in the room with these women and to say, hey, look, let me help. I almost feel like it's a respect thing, right? Like now I feel like I gained a little bit of respect. Like, okay, she's not just a 9 to 5 or not doing nothing with her life. She's actually trying to pursue something positive. So I feel like my biggest goal is to make women feel beautiful in their own skin and like I said, helping them prepare for their life outside of the abuse that they were in and learn to rebuild that confidence and self-worth is my biggest goal. And having classes that teach women, empower women, and teach them to self-care and love themselves is so important to me.
Amazing. I love that. I love that so much. And I feel like you already are doing that. Um, I feel like being Miss Voluptuous USA South is already such a step towards that cause. And then the things that you are planning right now and that you're making happen, the impact that you're making on your own daughters, like all of that comes together as one. So that's a great impact. Um, let's see. Most of the questions I had were already answered, honestly. So you're doing amazing.
I don't know
Have you
why it's at the end and I'm starting to get nervous. Like,
It's totally normal, honestly. Like I have the same thing when I'm getting interviewed. It's way more easy to be on my side right now.
yeah.
um, okay, next question. Have you had a moment in this whole process that really confirmed that yes, I was meant to be here, I was meant to do this, and I'm so happy I took this step?
Yes, there was a couple of moments that I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Like, you're crazy. Like, what are you doing? And then I had someone send me a message and she's like, hey, look, like my daughter struggles with her body image and she's really having a hard time. And I just think what you're doing is so beautiful and the confidence that you portray is wonderful. Like, can you please talk to my daughter? Can she follow your journey? Can you show her how to love herself pretty much? And I was like, oh my God, like people I didn't even realize that I'm impacting. So many times I get messages or phone calls and they're like, hey, like you're doing so good. Like keep going. Like we hear you. You're doing this for all of us. And I'm like, I have to remind myself, like it's not just for me, but I am here to be a voice for women that feel like they don't have one.
Yeah, you are. And you are actually like such a good representative of your state as well. If people are actually seeing you, hearing you, and letting you know that they see you as well. So that's so beautiful. I love that so much. And what have you learned so far in pageantry?
I learned that it looks easier than it looks easier on the outside than it is from the inside. But I have learned that, well, with MVP, especially, I've never done a pageant outside of here, but like the sisterhood is so beautiful. Like our connection, even, right? Like this is so nice to see other powerful women wanting to take over the world and make a change. Like that's so important to see, and it's so great to be a part of that community.
Yeah, I fully agree as well. Like I've been in different pageants before and I've made friendships and everything. Like pageantry really isn't what you usually see in the media. It's
Right.
not people hating on each other. It's actually people lifting each other up. But MVP is on a whole other level.
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel like a competition yet, which is
Right.
insane.
It's beautiful. I love it though because I keep telling myself like I am my only competition. Like what I deliver is what they're going to be judging. They're not comparing me to other people. They're comparing me single-handedly.
Indeed, they are. And from what I'm seeing so far, you're doing a great job. So
But
looks
thank you. I
like,
appreciate it.
of course.
Like I said, it's
Um,
definitely easier said than done for sure.
Yeah, I fully agree. It's a lot of work and there's a lot of expectations. But as long as at the end of the day you can say, I am proud of what I delivered, then that's what's the most important thing.
It's also nice to see other queens not say have struggles because like obviously I don't want to see anybody struggle, but to have the same struggles, right? To
Mhm.
feel like they're having a moment and they're like, okay, I need to take a break, or oh, I feel overwhelmed with work, like I can't concentrate, I need a moment. And I'm like, oh my God, it reminds me that y'all are normal as well. Y'all are normal people on the other end as well, you know? It
Yeah,
makes it a
of
little
course.
easier.
Yeah, and even the president, Natalie, she also shows us all the time how she is also just a woman, just a normal person,
And it's
which
beautiful that she's very present in her pageant. Like
mhm,
she's not just like above it and letting other people take it over, which I'm sure eventually if it gets big enough she will, but it's nice to see her present with us.
I fully agree. Also, little side note before I move on to the next question. Someone just joined the chat named Melissa Gill. Is that
That's my
by any
mom.
chance your daughter?
Yeah, that's my mom. No, that's my mom.
Oh, your mom. Well, she just said
Yeah.
Hell Queen. So just so you know, she's here to root for you. That's beautiful.
My supporter.
Yeah, of course. Let's see. Oh, next question, and also the last one, actually. What has been the most rewarding and empowering thing up until now that you're definitely gonna take with you to finals week?
So the most rewarding thing is finding my voice. Overcoming my own mental health issues and realizing that my voice deserves to be heard. And my voice is meant to be my voice is meant to change the world and meant to change even if I just help change one person's opinion or help them grow or help them heal that's the most important and most rewarding thing that I have been told in my past and I plan to
Mhm.
continue to speak life in women and empower women. I plan to take over the world with these empowered women.
And I'm pretty sure you have everything inside of you to be able to do that for sure. So I hope to see more of you after finals week as well. Because it looks like you have all the intrinsic motivation to do all of this. So definitely keep believing in yourself. You're doing amazing. And I'm pretty sure that everyone who is watching right now and who's listening right now is very inspired by you, which is why I want to move on to the last thing, is called our mini peace mission. And for everyone who's new, a mini peace mission is where our guest gives our listeners a little advice, a little activity, or a little tip that they can take with them for the next week and that they can try out. That just helps them to make an impact on the world. So, what is your mini peace mission for us?
Okay, so you can't pour into an empty cup. So my mission is to take 5, 10, 20 minutes to yourself every night, whether it's sitting in the bath, whether it's doing your skincare routine at night. Just take a moment by yourself to reflect on your day and to see how you can be better tomorrow.
I love that so much. I've shown this one before, but I always write my stuff in here, and I do this actually every night as well. It's my Notes of a Genius book. I love that activity so much, and I definitely think it's a great one for everyone to try out. Thank you so much for sharing that. Also, thank you so much for being so open to all of us with your story. You inspired me, but I'm pretty sure you inspired way more people than that. I would also like to know where we can follow your journey so everyone can come and support you.
So you can follow me on Facebook at Brittany Amar. That is my personal Facebook. And then I also have a group, Miss Voluptuous USA South, on Facebook that you can become a part of. And then I am also on Instagram and TikTok. I believe I changed my TikTok to Miss Voluptuous USA South. And
Mhm.
then I also have Instagram, which is Britt Amar 08.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. And for everyone who just joined, who is like, no, I missed everything about this amazing queen. Don't worry. Everything will be online after we edit it. So don't worry about that. You don't have to miss anything. Thank you so much for being here, Brittany. And
Thank
see
you for
you
having
again.
me.
Of course. See you again. Bye.
Bye.